My friend said, "Dear friend, first of all, I sincerely appreciate the importance you place on my comments. Once again, you have excellently explained that everyone should establish a target tenor they wish to emulate, which is absolutely essential. What I want to emphasize is that after mastering the technique and style of the desired tenor, the next step is to enter the true phase of communication, which is the artistic, irrational, and emotional expression. This part is precisely what conveys the emotions that the composer intended to express when creating the piece. Of course, each singer will adjust it according to their own sensitivity, making it as independent as possible from the vocal technique they have acquired." What you said is extremely important. First of all, I do not acknowledge the so-called techniques of today's tenors. They have completely detached themselves from the core of vocal technique, breathing technique, and breath support, yet they still talk about singing technique. If you watch their videos, you will see that their teaching seems to lack the guiding role and pulling effect of breathing technique in singing. Instead, they are all singing high notes and vibrato with flushed faces and their mouths filled with air. At this point, they are already completely wrong. Only on the foundation of correct breathing technique can all other techniques be effective. In Caruso's era, that was the golden age of tenors. Every tenor combined technique with deep emotion, and listening to them was truly moving. But starting in the 1950s, humanity began to go astray. Singing became a pursuit of sound quality, resonance, and vibrato, rather than emotional expression. To put it even more bluntly, today's tenors do not move you when you listen to them because they do not sing with their hearts. As I mentioned yesterday, if you take a huge breath and forcefully push it into your oral cavity and mask, then cry. Is that crying real? Impossible. Because crying is a physiological reaction. It requires true sorrow and deep emotion. When I watch Corelli cry in Carmen's final aria, it is completely fake. It's all just facial expressions. But facial expressions should be the result of emotions brewing in the chest and abdomen. Real crying is an abdominal movement, not something limited to the mouth and face. Even Jiggly's singing sobs have been historically criticized as fake. Now look at today's singers. Their abdomen has no breath support. They can't even make their abdomen tremble, yet they try to produce a fast, trembling vibrato. They simply can't do it. So, if my students ask me how to train their abdominal breath support, I would say, fire a machine gun in your abdomen. The sound of a machine gun firing is the highest level of abdominal training. In the future, I want to let my students hear the long, sustained vibrato of my abdominal control. My point is this: if you talk to modern singers about expressing the composer's musical essence and emotional involvement, they simply can't do it. I want to ask my friends, do you know how to put true emotion into your singing? How? I can tell you this, not even the teachers of today's vocal teachers can explain it. Try to find one. Do they exist? Of course, fully achieving this is almost a utopian ideal, but everyone can do their best to reach it. In my view, this irrational and artistic expression is precisely what has been lost over the past few decades, yet it is a fundamental characteristic of Italian bel canto. This style was still a primary focus of teaching in the first half of the last century, but it gradually disappeared, leading audiences themselves to become accustomed to evaluating singers merely based on vocal quality while neglecting artistic expression. This is my personal opinion, which I have also shared with Giovanni Scalmana. He kindly responded to my comment on a video about him and, in some way, agreed with my point of view. I originally wanted to reply to one of his comments under that video, but YouTube deleted my message once again. So, I have now merged it into my previous reply, and it seems that YouTube accepted it this time. However, I don't know how to notify Giovanni to reread my previous comment. I am now planning to try leaving him a message, asking him to check my earlier comment again. Hopefully, YouTube will at least allow me to post a single reply. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity you've given me to express my thoughts, even if only in a small way, to contribute to the revival of Italian bel canto. With my warmest regards. My response: what you said is indeed true. Singers should strive to achieve this. The current issue, however, is that there is no correct method for a singer to truly master the art of singing. Moving forward, I will further explore how, over the past century, vocal theory has developed and where it went wrong. Theoretical discussions that do not address practical issues and teach incorrect singing techniques are what humanity has been following for the last 100 years. I fundamentally reject 90% of the false vocal techniques that are being taught today. These so-called vocal theorists often do not even know how to sing themselves, or they may have studied singing but are unable to perform on stage and end up transitioning into vocal teaching. If you look on YouTube, there are so many people claiming to teach Caruso's vocal method, yet they cannot produce a correct sound themselves. This is the case with all of them, without exception. These people have hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of views, and my God, is this not harming Italian vocal music? They are not practicing Italian bel canto. They don't even have correct breathing techniques, yet they are teaching others, and people are still praising them. In Japan, there are a few vocal teachers who speak about singing, but their own vocal techniques are wrong. In Tokyo, if they wish, I can meet them at any time to correct their singing errors. But this is their hobby, and I don't interfere. However, the situation in the vocal world is tragic. After hundreds, even thousands of years, my estimate is that Italian bel canto will never be revived because these people who don't understand singing are teaching early on, poisoning others. My student, Giovanni Scalmana, is a very intelligent young man, quick to understand and perceptive. He shares my belief that most modern singers are wrong. Before even hearing me sing, he wanted me to teach him, which is not easy. The link you gave me, Giovanni Scalmana, I watched, and indeed, it was him singing. He became a vocal teacher, but did not tell me that. If this is true, it might be inappropriate for me to call him my student on YouTube. I should probably refer to him as a colleague in the vocal field, studying singing together. Others call him teacher. He now clearly realizes his shortcomings and feels lost. Since the end of January this year, our communication has advanced quickly, and he is at a crucial point now. When necessary, I must demonstrate vocally to him how to sing. Perhaps he hasn't responded to you later. I understand him, as he is also thinking about how to improve himself. The next time I contact Giovanni Scalmana, I will ask him if he has time to communicate with you.